Once upon a time, there was an island.
And let's be clear, Coney Island is no longer an island. The creek that once separated it from mainland Brooklyn was gradually filled in over the course of the 20th century, and although the little waterway almost manages to fulfill its island-making duties, Coney is now a mere peninsula. But in the early 1900s, when our season begins, the creek still fully sliced Coney away from the mainland to its north, and the island was a true island with only a few bridges and railroad trestles connecting it to Gravesend and Brooklyn and all the rest of New York. Back then, the island was a haven of revelry and leisure and crime and trickery. It was a place the like of which you and I, stuck in the 21st century, will never see. Except, perhaps, in our dreams. Hi, and welcome to the first season of Meet Me in Dreamland. I'm Ty Bannerman, your host, and over the next several episodes, and hopefully seasons, I'd love for you to come with me on a journey of exploration into this strangely almost forgotten chapter of American life, the golden age of Coney Island. So, let's go back to the turn of the last century, to an island off the coast of Brooklyn, bustling with madness. It's summer in New York, and the heat is sweltering, and the kids are crying, and that heat, as the middle class of New York works, they begin to daydream about the weekend and relief. Finally, it's a Saturday in June, and the family climbs aboard a crowded electric streetcar, the kids crowding around their knees, strangers' bodies pushing into theirs, and after 45 minutes or so, the breeze is getting fresher, the air is getting cooler as they cross the creek and come to the island itself. They disembark among the crowd, among the carnival barkers, and among the myriad street-side stalls, but they're not interested in mere entertainment, in the base distractions from their workaday life. They've brought the children down not to visit the crass amusements of Steeplechase Park or the gaudy pastiche of Luna. No, they are here to bring them to the educational and edifying Dreamland. That's right. Dreamland Park in 1905 on Coney Island was edutainment. Oh, it had rides and sideshows and even an entire village of little people, but the conglomerate of well-heeled politicians who got together to fund the creation of the park wanted to not only entertain New Yorkers, as several other parks on the island already did, but also to educate them about the world beyond New York's borders and to hold up Christian religious values for them to emulate. The aim to both entertain and teach produced a very odd tension in the park. For instance, just inside Dreamland's main entrance, and visible from the street, was a 50-foot-tall nude angel. Sure, she probably attracted a crowd of dudes hypnotized by her nakedness. This was the era of ankles being considered too risque to be uncovered, remember? But she was really there to advertise an attraction called Creation, which would take guests through a cyclorama of the biblical book of Genesis. Paul and Nancy Brigandi, writing for CarouselHistory.com, describe creation as the largest illusion ever constructed in its time. It was the story of creation from the first book of Genesis. The journey began with a boat ride around the big blue dome where people would see the spectacular illustrations of the works of God. In the great dome, the 6 days of creation were presented. At first, there was a watery waste, and then land appeared, and finally, man and woman were created in the Garden of Eden, and on the seventh day, God rested. So, for the price of your ticket, you get booze and religion. That's a win-win. Other quasi-educational attractions included the canals of Venice, where Americans could get a taste of the culture of the continent while also sneaking a snog or two on what amounted to a tunnel of love. Fighting the Flames, which showcased modern firefighting techniques, including pressurized water and fire hydrants, and ended with a pyrotechnic show. And even the Infantorium, where, for a nickel, guests could see a room full of premature infants being nurtured with cutting-edge incubators. In a word, Dreamland was wild. And that's what this season of Meet Me in Dreamland will be about. We'll talk about these insane attractions, including the entire village of little people, and the personalities who worked there, from the grifting politicians who ran the place, to the performers in the Dreamland sideshow, to the one-armed animal trainer who emerged from the flames that destroyed the park as a hero.
So won't you meet me in Dreamland?